applied only 1,800 pounds of thrust, and they have multiplied by that 3 and put 6,000 pounds of thrust in the A-37, creating the Dragonfly, an aircraft that was sent to South Vietnam to support counter-insurgency operations during the Vietnam War. This aircraft was in support of Australian troops over there.
In terms of differences from the T-37, that doesn't have pylons on it, does it? Because you don't need them as a training aircraft, but this one does because it carried bombs, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So they've souped up the power 3 times, as I said, and they've got some hard points under the wings there, so it can carry all sorts of different ordnance, and it was able to do that over 5,000 missions in Vietnam. Rockets, bombs, drop tanks, cannons, and a 7.62 minigun on the front.
And it could get nice and up close to the troops who needed its support.
Absolutely. So they looked at this as a replacement to the Sky Raider, which was suffering heavy losses. And then after the fall of Saigon, this aircraft was actually taken over by the Vietnamese forces. In 1992, it was brought out by a doctor called Michael Silver, who also had a birthday. I remember it flying around the city. And they put the new engines on it. And then for a while it was out of the air until it was able to be restored by the Temora aviation team. It was the first simulation of the aircraft that was used to fly with aviation. A similar thing where they get is the trainer aircraft and then push it into active service as an O1. In 1999, David Lowy displayed this aircraft.
David Lowy, the father of Temora, and its historic aviation collection.
Absolutely, a big museum there that operated for 20 years, still operating strongly up there. If you're up near Temora, you should go for a visit. The team's got a merchandise tent up with the 100 Squadron at the northern end of the airshow.
Now it's a very manoeuvrable aircraft, as you said, it's quite souped up, so you've got a bit of excess power in your hands when you fly?
Absolutely, and Buster's able to throw this aircraft around the sky as well as keep it quite close to the crowd line. He's done his double rolls and he's done his loops, and he'll come back in for another pass shortly. In 2018, the Temora team have restored this aircraft. One of the most interesting things about it is the paint. It's got Vietnam Air Force Squadron insignia markings, all of them hand painted. And the hardpoints were able to use with the drop tanks to bring it down from Temora in the one leg. They'll land for fuel at the end of Sunday's show and head back north to Temora where it's housed. Now operates as part of 100 Squadron, as a testament for those who were serving in Vietnam on both sides.
Not many attack aircraft are side by side, are there? The F-111 was definitely an exception. The A-6 that used to fly off Navy carriers. But generally speaking, unusual to have side-by-side attack aircraft. But this one, as we said, could get low and close to the action and was very precise in supporting the troops on the ground when they really needed it.
Flying these aircraft out for 100 Squadron.
If I recall correctly, it could be refueled in the air, but that's not something that 100 Squadron is about to add to its list of capabilities.
No, I think flypast is impressive enough. They'll land and they'll fill up the main tanks as well as the auxiliary drop tanks underneath. You can see at the moment on those high points. So very practical aeroplane, very loud. Usually we've got smoke pylons to create a really interesting smoke pattern through the air. Today they're not being utilised.
The aircraft also enjoyed something of a career in Central America and third world nations who found it rugged and adaptable, and I'm sure that's your experience of operating this very dependable aircraft. Would that be a fair thing to say, Luke?
Yeah, absolutely. As a Cessna aircraft, like all of the other ones they operate, it's a really dependable, very practical aircraft, and great for air shows because it's so loud and impressive.
This one not being flown by a former chief of the Air Force, unlike our Canberra earlier. Can you tell us something about its pilot?
So this one's Flight Lieutenant Darren Buster Crabb. He's been operating this aircraft for a long time out of Temora and now with 100 Squadron. He's one of the jet experts who gets the guys flying on these types of aircraft. He has an interesting background with NATO forces in Europe and flying the fast jets, F-18s. Currently flies corporate jets for a private family.
Do you normally cross-qualify pilots in 100 Squadron? Can they fly both the historic propeller aircraft and the historic jet aircraft?
Most of the guys who are flying the jets have that extensive jet background from the Royal Australian Air Force. Some of them fly piston engines on the side for fun, and they do cross-pollinate across in some ways. Usually we've got a couple of aircraft for each pilot that they can fly. But Darren's lucky and he's got experience in the A-37 and the Meteor and the F-86, as well as the Canberra when it was first flying out of Temora. Very extensive career Darren's had.
Luke, thank you so much for your time. Luke Kempton from, Flight Lieutenant Luke Kempton from the RAAF's 100 Squadron, and that was the A-37 Dragonfly.
Well, we're going to go to Angela Stevenson, who's out and about very, very soon, picking up interesting interviews and talking to the stars of the Australian International Air Show. That's coming up very shortly. And we will be inviting in just 1 or 2 moments our friends from Korea, the Black Eagles, after we see the combination of Matt Hall and Emma McDonald in their dynamic display, all a part of Matt Hall Racing. In the MXS and the Extra 300 aircraft, they will take off. They're next on the program, and after that we will be welcoming our friends from Korea, the Black Eagles, with their multi-aircraft formation displays. Aerospace News Desk. Let's go to Alex and find out what she's on about.
A fleet of 12 B-21 Raiders could cost Australia up to $28 billion. B-21 aircraft would give Australia a long-range capability that would act as a deterrence against any conflict.